Hello. Um, this is about the fourth attempt at making a spell chest video that I've made. However, the failures have been pretty fruitful. I was playing e4, a6 with black, and then a strong 1800 just came and showed me conclusively why that is just refuted. Doesn't work at all. You get killed. So it's your only options are c6, e6, knight c6, and e5. And this 1800 told me the e6 and e5 are barely not losing by force. So, okay, what the heck is this? Maybe b5 was bishop b7 or something was too bad. Let's see. I guess there's going to be some kind of... he can freeze this. Which means I'm probably just straight up losing. Well, this is forced. I might have to throw the queen away just to live. Queen h5, and I have to move the king. Thing is, he does not have queen takes h8 because I can take. If he jumps, I jump. And he also doesn't have this. Bishop to g5, because I'll take this. So this isn't all that fantastic for white. Maybe there was something better. Now he's out of jump spells, and I have 2 remaining, and he's down a piece. So I should win this without a great deal of trouble. And given that these free spells are equal, for any free spell he uses, I just use it back. And obviously it will depend on the placement of the pieces. But if I'm careful about that, there should be no opportunity for him to win. There's also an S chess, 01 chess tournament on Pine Chess in a few hours, so I'll try to film that too. I would say that, you know, black is really crushing. Piece up and 2 jump spells up. Maybe, you know, I've got to work on getting this bishop out somehow. I can take with a knight, and then reroute this bishop. And if white feels... Oh, that is a good move. Okay, I will try and maybe kick this. I guess whoops. I didn't pre-move something. this interface is a little bit irritating. For one thing, there's no sound. And the arrows and stuff, once you make them, it's really hard to get rid of them. But, that's minor, it's not a big deal. Really, I think that this variant could be better. Like, this idea, it's a really nice idea. But the execution is, I think it's not quite there yet. And a lot of chess players kind of talk as if they forget something that's important. But we design the games. Chess players design the games. Standard chess does not come from on high. So we get to ask the question: what do we want variants or games in general to do? What do we want them to? I should have froze this. What do we want our variants to do? What do we want our games to be? And how do we want games to be decided? Do we want them to be decided by tactics or by positional play? Because really, you can create a variant that's decided by early tactics. If that's what you want. I think the best games, though, have a nice balance between tactical and positional considerations. And okay, this isn't gonna go well for black. I think that like the idea of having spells is good, but I think maybe the spells are too powerful, and maybe the spells make it a bit too distant from standard chess. I mean, it's really up to the designer how distant it is from standard chess, or how close. I mean, atomic chess is the best example, I think, because all the pieces move exactly the same, and yet the explosions that occur mean that the theory is just games of atomic chess look absolutely nothing like games of standard chess. So if he plays here, I won't be able to castle. I'll go queen e2. Because castles would be mate. I would lose. But if I get to play knight takes c3 and then he plays bishop b4, I could even try bishop g5. Now, if he takes my queen, he had to use a spell to do it. And to use a spell just to exchange pieces, that being down one spell will hurt you in the endgame. So I forget if I said this already because I forget which of my recordings I actually managed to get onto YouTube and which I was either interrupted at home or I played horribly. Now he froze me probably too soon. So how do you deal with this? Well, it looks like it's his second game, so he's doing fine. So my hope would be, okay, we can make this game larger, maybe like grand chess or something, and put more spells, and maybe even reduce the power of the spells. So that you get this balance of the old and the new. Okay, so he wants to checkmate me. And who can blame him? And I also think that, okay, you don't want your variant to just appeal to, okay, if I take that, I lose, so that wouldn't be very wise. You don't want your variant to appeal to the dregs. And as elitist as that sounds, this this 1400 is just outplaying me. Okay, I'll give a pawn. And what I mean by that is like spammy openings that kind of decide the game, and then you don't really get to the end game. You don't get to interesting middle games. You get people saying, "Give me pieces." Knight and queen is made. I mean, you can sex it intelligently. There's no doubt about that. But what should a full game look like? In standard chess, like 30 to 40 moves is pretty solid. Okay, so he can freeze all of this. What is it gonna do about the queen threat? Okay, fair enough. This guy is legit good. I'm trying to figure out how to not get killed here. Why is this 1400 so good? I have to try this one. And I threaten the king. So I'm faster here. Gotta take this guy seriously. He's good. E5, eh? Okay. What's the right response? D6, bishop E5 freezes all of this stuff. I freeze him. I could go bishop E6. No, if he would freeze all this, bishop E6 wouldn't be possible. I guess I could play something like G6. I think I will try that. And it will get messy. Oh, but he just like, I just wanted to take. Oh, for God's sake, man. Was I supposed to go queen takes? What's the fucking deal? Ah. Oh, I'm actually lost. I think. Oh no, okay, I'm not lost. But he can go bishop b5, so I won't win the queen. I should have thought more carefully about where I was going to put the king because now queen f4 is hard to deal with. I might even have to just run the king. Damn, this guy's playing some strong stuff. Might just have to accept a draw by repetition, like I see no way out of it. Oh, you know what? He might not even want a draw by repetition. He might just be like, you're mated. You play this. Ah, this unfortunately is an overplay because I have this one. I think he should have just made me accept a draw. Take all this stuff. And on the next move, he had to move the king, but then I would take the rook. So his position wasn't the best. Strong play, like, very purposeful play, just needs to patch up his tactics a little bit. So, I guess, to revisit this question, what should this game, what would Spell Chess 2 look like? It should have balance, and it should have, you know, a lot of moving parts, and it should, the excitement would come from, many elements that you have to think about all the time. You almost have like the fun of uh, like some kind of turn-based game, like Total War or something like that. Hmm. I guess I'd find interest when the middle game actually gets going and it's not decided by um, these early queen forays and hmm, most of the pieces sit in the back. I guess like just for aesthetic reasons, I find that kind of I don't know. People love the team variant of four player chess, and it seems like that's kind of what it is a lot of the time, just people moving queens around, and there are these long forcing lines. I guess, okay, shouldn't players have options too? Like the more options you have, the more scope for creativity and individuality there is. I mean, standard chess, is like some GMs play a Sicilian, others play a Petrov, others play a Hertz, others play um, Caro-Kann, and then you get some variants where you have 2 or 3 moves that don't lose by force for black. This is a bit maybe too fancy to take on here. I think I'll just do this. And he can't really threaten at c2 because I'll take this way. I guess it's also like the difference between art and science, right? Because in science, or like in exact sciences, there's one right answer. And then in art, there's no right answer as such. There are either many right answers or there are differing perspectives, and there's room for individuality. I guess that might sound uh, weird, right? Because it's like, well, we play these games to solve puzzles. But it's up to us, the nature of the puzzles that we solve, and it's like, how many Sicilian defenses do you want to play? I find that I think standard chess is just very stagnant. That's a shame he fight because he was playing well. I think that standard chess has gone from being a place where people make discoveries to one where they split hairs. And it's true that, people said that a century ago. Jose Capablanca, who was the champion, said, "Uh-oh, um, that standard chess." He said that anyone will learn how to make a draw by force. Well, that wasn't true. Um, that wasn't really a good argument, I guess. But I think, okay, what decides if a game is drawish, right? It's like, oh, I better move before I lose points. It's not what beginners are capable of forcing, right? And you could say, well, top grandmasters, um, their games are drawish, but there's Magnus, and Magnus can get wins out of them. He can beat them, and draws are not so routine. I mean, okay, so even if you take Magnus out of the picture, well, the draws don't show that the game is stagnant. I would say, look at correspondence chess, where everyone's using computers, and it's like there's a ton of draws, and that those games are not just important because they are the most high level, but they sort of represent what is known about those games. And a draw in a variant should be hmm, notable. The draws should be notable and not routine. I mean, in Go, right? There's the half point, so there are no draws. I mean, there are only draws in super rare occasions when neither side can hope to make progress. There's a situation where it's called triple co. This is interesting. I can't move this knight. Do I'm thinking about, okay, I go in here. He takes. I'll play this knight. Let's try it. The problem is he just trades the queens. And if he trades the queens on a piece down, it's no good. Oh, he can't take this. Can't really take this because I'll take his queen. But also, he might not even appreciate that he has this move. I mean, it's okay. I was in that position myself, not long ago, of not really seeing the resources that are actually in my position. Yeah, a lot of people don't really agree with me at all about the stuff I say about standard chess and variants. And some people don't even care enough to disagree. They just say, I have no interest in playing any with any fairy pieces or with any variant in general. I don't really care, what you say about it philosophically. I'm just playing for fun. I guess you can't really argue with that. Although, I am fond of pointing out that that argument would also work for the most boring form of chess known to man, Shatranj, which predates all the chess variants and chess itself. You could make that argument in favor of just sticking with your elephant that moves like this. So it can't really do a whole lot. And that's what you get for a bishop. And then your queen moves one square diagonally. And I've played that with the VChess software. It's so boring. It's painful how boring it is. S-chess is good. S-chess is like a strong idea, although it does get a bit crowded on an 8x8 board. I think 10x10 makes a lot of sense, especially given that you can, get 10x10 boards um, from, there's international drafts. Although, commercial variants don't do very well in general. Most of them fail. if not all of them. So this would be mating. I could get this. I could take this, but he can freeze me, but I'll just freeze his king. So some of the variants in this section of chess.com are pretty good. Um, there's one black letter chess. I thought it was okay. This isn't really working. And then XXL chess, I just thought was kind of sloppily thrown together. I did not like that variant at all. And then the pawns promote, so you just kind of have to rush around, and then I think it's too much in White's favor. Can I play this one? We'll see. Hmm. I thought it was interesting until this happened. What do I do with this rook? I don't know. I'm gonna get this rook. So it's gonna be hard for White to really do anything beyond just wait for me to checkmate him. He had to try to freeze the knight. If he froze the knight, I was just gonna go rook e1, then take, just to simplify. I don't know why people play on in these positions. It's just nothing to play for. I mean, yeah, you get the queen. But he has one jump spell. And he can't do anything with it because he has no piece that, well, only the pawns, you get that one jump move out of them in those rare situations when you need it. If there's a piece here, you can hop over it. Yeah, sorry I don't edit these videos. And so they're just periods of waiting. Where are the games? Maybe people just don't like 3+2 that much. 30 minutes and 2, man, you get people who really want to think about this stuff. I think 1 minute's a bit ridiculous because, the time you spend clicking to get the spells on, it's a bit much. I mean, I flagged a lot of games in the past few days because I just didn't realize I was low on time at all. Quite frustrating, actually. There's no sound, there's no red clock. Okay, I haven't really seen much of B3. Okay, maybe a first game. This is losing. This is losing for white. Can't deal with both of these. You can rematch if you want. I'll probably end up losing this one if it's 1 minute. Because I'm never fast enough. Okay, well you can't deal with rook. Didn't I freeze that piece? I thought I froze h4. I guess I didn't. Well, that's pretty dumb. Maybe I hopped it when I thought that I froze it. Doesn't matter. No, bishop g5 won't work. Knight takes g5 I have this. This is too fast for me. Oh, the bishop's just trapped. Should have gone the other way. Flagged. That's dumb. Try and be faster. I think if I show that I'm actually sort of strong, then he's going to lose interest in that because he's not going to want to, play a 1400 who has a knowledge of a higher rated player. Yeah, well, I sort of predicted that wouldn't go very well. But that's what you sign up for when you play with 1 minute and no increment. Bit silly. But that's how I prefer to play standard chess. Anything else, I don't have the patience for it. I'd like to play against like a 18 or 1900 rated player, or even 2000, in a game where there's time to actually make time to think about the moves and time to input the moves. I don't mean to gripe about 1-0, but it's not for me, as you could see pretty easily. I don't even like 1-0 Bughouse. That's too fast. I will definitely hope to get games of Bughouse 960 on Pie Chess, because then it's like, okay, well, we've never seen this position before. We actually have to think about it. I'm just trading everything just to kind of let him know. F4 might be good for him. If F4, I'll try Rook H4. So right now there are 4 people in the S Chess arena, and there are a few hours for people to join. S Chess is fun. I think that it's worth putting some time into. I'm not the strongest at S-chess. I'm not even top 10 on the site, and there aren't that many people who play. So, what the heck? Let's do this. This is going to be mating. Alright, 1581, that's pretty good. I remember all the Bughouse players, but I don't remember all of the spell chess players. There are some people who have openings that are so distinct. Like, okay, I know True Player. I know Lucia. He goes by Total Nutter now. I know Angelina Callie. And then you know the players who are super strong. Switcher. It's not always straightforward, but a lot of the time you just know. Thinking deeply about move 2. You can't see it, but I'm looking at tournaments on Pi Chess. I should have filmed. There's a new variant, Mensindam, and it's a 9 sort of Western chess meets shogi, but it's super strong. Knight, bishop, knight, rook, centaur. So that's queen, knight pieces. It's the shogi pawns that throw me because the shogi pawns don't protect one another. And there are some variants that I'm so bad at that I just don't. And there are some that I just don't care for very much. Excuse me. And so there's a Grand House one on the 20th. Shaco on the 21. S-Chess 960 on the 23rd. So I'll be in all of those. Regular Capablanca on the 25th. And Couch Tomato designed a lot of variants that, Shogun was my favorite. Oh, I guess that's kind of clever, isn't it? Now he can push, takes, rook takes, queen takes, so I don't mind that. I liked Shogun, but I guess like a lot of these, I liked Shinobi too. But then Sino chess, he kind of lost me. That was like Chinese chess meets Western chess. Order was okay. Order was starting to test the limits of what I was interested in. Because it's asymmetric, and then you have one side that moves in different ways from how it captures. So it's just a lot of brain power just to figure out how to move things. I guess I feel like complexity is relative to what you already know. Like I like 10 cubed the best, and most people have this reaction of it's too much shit on the board. That was a Spinal Tap quote, and Spinal Tap plays so many variants with, sort of astonishing ease and skill. I feel like this might be good because I'll get Queen H4 threat, Queen H1 threat, chase him around a bit. This won't be a threat because he'll be able to defend it anyway. I actually don't know if Pie Chess would be able to implement. Can I mate him? Queen takes F2, freeze all this. I think I can, right? And 94 to follow. And he can only move. He can't freeze the queen and the knight, right? So if he freezes the knight, I'll take him. If he freezes the queen, I defend the queen, and by the time he can move his king, it's too late. I wonder who strongest player, if you added up Elo out of all of the variants that people play, who comes up out on top? Contenders are UB Dip from who designs Fairy Stockfish, the engine, plays all of the variants. Also a very strong player in a ton of variants. Probably the most has the most trophies on Pie Chess. Then there's Spinal Tap, who not only plays Bughouse, is an IM in chess, plays a ton of variants, can pick them up really quickly. Is a 5-dan in Go as well, which is that's really hard to do. So it might be Spinal Tap. Could also be Plotkin. But I don't really know. I know he likes games that get away from theory. And obviously, I think that he's very strong in Bughouse and Crazy House and in chess. But yeah, it's not clear. I might be in the top 10 for that list because I, can play Bug, Go somewhat, and then I play variants that no one else will touch, and also Pente. I'm pretty good at Pente too, so it's a shame that you can't really play that one online. There's no really nice interface for Pente. Maybe it's UB Dip, because UB Dip plays shogi, plays Chinese chess. I think he can even play Yangi, which is Korean chess. Obviously, not trying to answer this question conclusively because there's so many games that people play. Now, UBDip even beat me in a lot of the variants where it looked like I was the best at them. So in Grand House, in Shogun, he beat me. Although I had a bit of a Grand House on Pie Chess, which is a 10x10, knight bishops, knight rooks, and crazy house. What I figured out with that variant is that you have to bend the rules with development a little bit. Develop sort of slowly and take space. There's a lot of pawn movement in Grand House. Okay, he's correct. I can't take them. Can't take that back. Let's try this one. I'm talking too much. But I think that guys like Spinal Tap and UB Dip, they don't play to be the greatest. They play because it's fun. I think that those guys are very unegotistical. Um, they're very modest about their strength. This isn't really a threat because I'll have this later. I think maybe I can just cancel. Oh. I might be able to get out of this. Now I could have not frozen this because he doesn't really want to save the queen because I'll take the king. But it's really about cutting down his counterplay. Now, I can't prevent him from... Oh, that's Gotham chess, isn't it? Can't prevent him from flagging. Can't add time. But yeah, chess.com needs to fix this. I know it's experimental, but people care about it. People take it seriously. And people put money into this site, People pay for membership and they offer the variants as part of the appeal. Okay, now this doesn't work because there's no bishop move, right? So if I play this one, there's no second threat. Maybe Andrew Tang would be another candidate for like most accomplished in variants, because I saw him do a simul on his Twitch where he was playing all different variants at once. So he was playing Atomic, he was playing Crazy House, Standard, 3-check, whatever you want. Although, the Lichess, what Lichess offers in terms of variants is fairly narrow. Obviously, Andrew Tang has a long history of playing Bughouse too. Now if I take this bishop, I actually lose because there's rook e5. So you have to be careful. Now I might just let him kick me back and then go bishop d6. But I'll never... If he... Oh, okay, I mean, you can do it like this. Just play like this, right? I was gonna say that if he goes rook to h8, it's not even a threat, because he would have used his last jump, and if he takes the knight, I can take this way. Actually, no. I would have just gone king f8, probably, because I would have needed an extra move. Let's do this one. Now there are two pieces hanging. I'm not really sure why white is playing on him. White is quite busted. I think that white is... I think this guy tried the queen h5 thing on me twice. I think it might be that it's working for him so often against new players that he's not fully internalized that it doesn't work in principle. And so he just keeps playing it. I mean, I don't know. That it could be it. It took about 2 days of me playing a6 before someone came along and put a queen on e5, queen h5, queen e5, and I realized, oh, this doesn't work in the slightest. It's just a matter of trying to checkmate him now. I'll take this knight if he lets me. If not, I'll put it on d3. I'm still puzzled as to why they have kind of such a clusterfuck, basically, of variants in this portion of the site, right? Because there's live, or there's chess.com play online, and then there's variants. but it's like there's variance in here, and there's standard chess in here. I'm just resign. There's nothing to play for. And you get more variants in this part of the site, but then a lot of the variants are just so poorly thrown together. But it's like, okay, fine, it's experimental, and some of the experiments actually really good, like this one. But then some of them are just so awful. It's like, well, it would have taken you a minute to find something better. And they have Gothic on here. They have S-Chess on here, right? Were they not able to get a hold of, um, the guys who invented Shaco and Grand Chess? I have to make sure I don't stay there's even Musketeer chess was pretty good. I think I'll just keep playing this guy until he stops trying to kill me with Queen H4. Whoever came up with the idea for black letter chess did a good job, but then XXL was just, it was so ugly, so bad. Maybe I'm griping too much, but you like variants, you want to see variants treated with a bit more care, I guess. I don't really care too much about my rating on here. I had a nice little series with an 1800 where he started just destroying me, but then he gave me a couple of pointers, and I was actually able to win some games as well. There's not much here. If King D6, I'll play D4. I won't play Queen D4 because that will result in a trade. And I won't play Bishop G5 because he'll take. Oh, I could play Bishop G5. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's the knight defense. He can freeze the knight, but I can freeze him in return. So I should at least get a queen. Gotta be careful about where I put the king, because if I castle queenside, there'll be Bishop A3 as a counter threat to keep his queen on the board. If I castle kingside, to make sure that queen actually does come off, or queen takes G1 will be on the cards. Oh, you know what? I'm I'm talking as if he can play two spells at once, right? He can take and freeze me, but he can't. So he he has a jump spell left. But if I do this,
And castle. It's me. Let's look briefly at some of these variants. It's hard to make a neat taxonomy, neat organization of all these different things. I mean, this is cool. Like they've got historical stuff. I have no idea what that ship does. Self-partnering in the teams. Uh, Giveaway. So there's okay, this most popular. On pie chess, I think this would be placement. And you can even like make certain things crazy house, or you can customize things. Featured. Why is XXL featured? It's garbage. S chess. This should be bigger. I think it's too small. This is. There is too goofy. This one was okay. Wasn't amazed by it. Okay, so Ed Trice used to hang around pie chess. So they were able to talk to Ed Trice about getting Gothic on air. Why not reach out to some other inventors too? I don't get it. You know, when you're looking at, instead of having this disaster of a variant, it doesn't make sense. Uh, and then a lot of these, like, they don't really jump out at me. Like, I'm sure they're okay. I think you definitely got to be willing to, sit there for a long time to get through one of these. I'm sure that's fun, actually. So there's extra, and I actually think this one is better than XXL. As knight bishops, knight rooks, and knight kings, and the placement of the pawns, is makes more sense. Basically, when you have a 10x10 variant, you should either put the pawns on the third rank, or you could do like Omega does and keep them on the second rank, but give them the option to move 3 squares instead of 2. And then a lot of these are just like, good God, kind of a clusterfuck of. I don't think anybody really plays these very often. But I mean, okay, fair enough, it's experimentation. And then, okay, there's giveaway, team variants, common ones. I haven't played Petrified, Capture Anything. Torpedo looks alright. No castling. I guess I'm a bit prejudiced against giveaway because I know that one-on-one giveaway is solved. E3 is supposed to be winning for white. Anyway, some of my reflections on variants. I mean, the games weren't of the highest quality. The only good games I got were 1-0, which is just too quick. Okay, we'll play one more since there's a 1600 on. All right, let's see what he's got. A3, it's a bit too timid. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here, to be honest. I should have gone E5. And so this might be a losing move.
If he plays bishop e5 and freezes all of this. I might have to freeze him here and go queen d7 in order to deal with queen h5. If he plays some normal move, then I can fix this. Maybe just a6. I guess that's a trap, right? I could take it and try and run to e7, but I think I just develop. Now he could play here and freeze me, and I'm forced to go freeze at c7. Maybe bishop e7. What's your plan here, buddy? I don't see it. Now, if he takes the queen, he can't jump here, right? And even if he goes like d4, it's not that convincing because this has to recharge this spell. Now, if he takes me, I'll take the rook. So this isn't a blunder. And it also means the knight can't move and this pawn can't move. If bishop a2, this pin isn't on anymore, so I'd have to move the bishop. I'll probably just go back here. Because I'll play bishop e7, try and get c5 in, although bishop e7 threatens g2 already. Okay, I think I have to play quite patiently here. I guess d4 I think is probably white's best. It's got to play d3 now, because if I get c4, that might hurt him a bit. Slow his development down too much. But this just loses a piece. I think when we're stressed or when we're struggling to find a move that works, that's when we make blunders. This doesn't do anything. Like, he used his last jump spell. He didn't really seem to get that much out of it. So there's never going to be like a rook jumping because he just doesn't have any life. So now I just simplify. I mean, I can take him at any time, but he can't take me. And if he moves the bishop, where's it going to go? I can, if d3, I just play h6. I think maybe, what was that jump all about? Hard to tell.
piece down and 2 jump spells down. It's a bit much. I don't really think there's anything for white to play for. And I'm not even using the freeze spell. I'll make him use his freeze spell first. So he loses. And all I'm doing is simplifying. I'm not even trying to win. Not trying to win quickly. Now this isn't a threat yet. I need to have a couple of moves. This isn't a threat. And I'm just gonna force the trade of this. Might even have better. If you made it this far, let me know. What do you think some interesting spells might be? Because I think the ideas for the spells already in a lot of variants. What was the one? 8-piece chess. That was a good one. And in 8-piece, you have 1 rook, knight, and bishop, but then you also have the pieces that are kind of like rook, knight, and bishop, but they're sort of a bit modified. So there's like a jailer, a sentry. I'm forgetting the other one. But there's one that, actually there is one that can freeze. There is a freezing piece. And then there's one that can push pieces. And anyway, that's a good variant. I'm gonna end this recording. But yeah, thanks for watching if you did. Or even if you watched part of it. Appreciate that.